Hello, Internet! If you're looking for a good rounded build designed to keep you and your team alive while creating big problems for your enemies, this build could be for you. My name is Commander Chaos, and this build is called Medical Malpractice. Now, as you may know, I don't like traditional builds and prefer to misuse gear and weapons to make them into something they're not supposed to be, and this build is no exception. Let's dissect this abomination. The Pestilence is an exotic light machine gun that the cool thing about LMGs is you get damage out of cover on them, and with this particular one, you also get damage to armor, which is pretty big for what this is going to be used for. It's got the talent Plague of the Outcasts. Hits apply a debuff dealing 100% weapon damage over 10 seconds. This stacks up to 50 times. What this means is if you shoot somebody with a bullet and you hit them, it's going to do 137.6k damage over 10 seconds. So a tenth of that every 10 seconds. This stacks up to 50 times, which, stacking all those together, you can get some pretty big numbers out of this. Whenever an enemy dies with this debuff, all stacks are transferred to a nearby enemy within 25 meters. So that means if somebody's over here, over by the counter over here, pretty much this entire area, that's about the range that it will transfer when they die with this debuff full. Well, with this debuff at all. But if it's full, then all of those stacks transfer to the enemy nearby, and that's the radius. So it's a pretty big area, especially if you're doing it in a close quarters place. It works wonderfully. So my secondary weapon is the Dark Winter, because why not? It's a great gun. It does a lot of damage. And then my pistol, I just use the TDI card. I don't even have any attachments on it because this is not for the TDI card. Now, for gear set, you notice I have Future Initiative on here, and I know you're probably wondering, well, that's not good for damage, is it? Well, it actually is, because in ground control with the 4-piece, you get increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15% while at full armor. All right, which that's significant. At 15% isn't that great, but if you look at the chest piece, that gives you, it increases ground control from 15 to 25%, which is a lot better than 15%. So when you're at full damage, or when you have your stacks full on an enemy, and you take cover and you regain the rest of your armor, which happens fairly quickly with this particular build, you start pushing out 25% more damage, and you can just sit there and watch their ticks go down, and then pop back out and tag them again, and that refreshes Plague of the Outcasts. And so they will continue receiving that much damage as long as you keep refreshing that buff by hitting them. One issue, they do take cover sometimes, and you do run out of your timer on the Plague of the Outcasts, and sometimes it just feels like they do it intentionally so that you can't refresh that debuff, but it still works wonderfully even without that. Also, on top of this, the 2-piece gives you 30% repair skill. The 3-piece gives you skill haste and skill duration. So it really kind of rounds it out as far as the skill aspect of this build is concerned. Now, I'm also using the Ninja Biker Messenger Bag. Now, this backpack has the Resourceful talent. It slots in with any equipped gear set and or brand set item to fulfill a requirement towards unlocking a gear set bonus. Can unlock bonuses from multiple sets simultaneously. So this is actually really good for it. If you look, I only have 3 pieces of the Future Initiative, and that is what this backpack does, is it gives me a 4th just because it's there. Now, this also works with my gloves, which are the Contractor's gloves, so it gives me 10% LMG damage, but because of the backpack, I'm also receiving that 10% weapon handling, which is pretty big with the Pestilence, considering it's not the most accurate LMG in the game, but it still works pretty well. Now, I've rolled repair skills on this, and on every piece I have. It's kind of a hard gear set to build because you need that repair skill already rolled on it so that you can roll weapon damage and armor onto this build. Now, for the holster, I have the Brazos named holster, Picaro's holster, and it gives you plus 15% weapon damage on top of its armor core that it comes with. Now, a two-piece gives you one skill tier as well, which also helps out with the skills that you have. And because of the Ninja Bike backpack, it unlocks that second skill tier. Now I have repair skills rolled onto this one as well. And it also gives you skill haste. Now, additionally, another way you could build this is you could build it with 2 pieces of Brazos and increase the magazine size of the Pestilence to 130 rounds. That is a pretty substantial increase in magazine. However, you will lose the damage to armor and you will lose the LMG damage, so you won't be pushing out as much damage with that. But it's there just in case you know, build it however you want to. Now, also with this build, I've decided to roll with, on the mods, to roll with protection from elites. And the reason I rolled with protection from elites on this is because the crossbow that I have equipped, I believe it's the survivalist specialization, allows me to get the seeker mine for the Mender seeker mine, which heals you. It deposits a circle of healing on the ground every few seconds, and you can sit there and receive quite a bit of healing from that with this build, which helps you stay alive. And part of the reason that I went with the protection from elites is the survivalist actually also gives you an additional, I believe, 10%. Yeah, 10% protection from elites. So with, I have 2 pieces that are 12%, and then I have one god rolled that is just, I love this piece, this mod, 13% protection from elites. So we've got 7, so 37 with that, and then on top of that with the survivalist specialization, that gives us nearly 50% protection from elites. There we go. I can stack this up and get... So right now I'm doing 702 DPS with not even shooting him. And I just have to refresh that tick every time it gets low. All I have to do is hit him again, and it refreshes that, and I maintain that 702. But if I use my Mender Seeker Mine and heal myself and my drone, then that boosts up to 878 DPS for not even shooting him. That's pretty good for not even having anything actually attacking him at the moment. That is just a debuff. But I'm sure you're sick of hearing me ramble, so why don't we show some combat footage?
There's someone moving.
Serious trauma detected.
Got a visual on additional hospital.
Over there.
control center. That should keep them from being able to transport those orders.
Think that will save you? I'll give you cover! Back off!
Vital signs critical.
Damn bullet magnet! That's some fight now!
Good work. Go on and head back up.
Rogue striker drone detected. Striker drone detected.
No